Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Buffet. Today, I am alone. Today, I'll be discussing the trailers for the Until Dawn movie coming out next month on April 25th. Okay, to get things out of the way first, that sounded a bit too sponsored-y. No, Media Buffet will never be sponsored by anything. I've already told every sponsor to fuck off. But another thing out of the way, you might have noticed that a lot of these gaming related video game adaptation trailers and all that stuff, I mentioned that I've never played the games before. Well, say it with me, folks. I've never played Until Dawn. I have it on my PS Plus library, on my PlayStation library, thanks to the PS Plus collection. But I have never touched or played Until Dawn, and maybe have no interest in doing. And I don't have the interest to do so, really. Not my type of game, really. It's not. But I do know what Until Dawn is about. I'm not a complete and utter noob. Not noob, but like I'm not completely that's not the word. Unknowing. I don't. I'm not. It's not that I don't know what it's about. I've known about Until Dawn since it probably came out. When did it come out? I want to know Until Dawn. I've known about it for a long time. 2015. Ugh. And yeah, it's a game that I think a lot of people liked. It was the first. It was kind of the first big one of its kind. It took a lot from the at least for me, from what I remember about the game, it took a lot from the Telltale games from before then, really, and kind of made a horror game out of it. And I feel like that's really cool. Um, and they decided to make sort of a like an interactive movie, and I think that can work in games. I mean, it worked here. I think people really liked Until Dawn. Again, it was a novel concept for its time. Uh, Here. And here's not reviewed the best, but people liked it. And I've known about Until Dawn for quite a bit, and I think it's always been a cool concept, but it's just there. It's just it was always just a their game, and I don't know. Uh, and had a lot of interesting ideas. The whole like butterfly system, butterfly system, the butterfly effect, theming of the game, and the fact that your choices could have a bunch of impacts on the characters. That was all really cool, and that took a lot from Telltale, but also gave way for other games to come out and sort of expand on that concept. Like, for example, Detroit Become Human, which fucking hell, Detroit Become Human, right? Detroit Become Human is I didn't know it came out in 2018, but I was older. Detroit Become Human is a game with like probably like hundreds of outcomes. It's an insane amount of outcomes. It's too much, frankly. It's too much. Now we get to now we get to go back to Until Dawn and sort of see where this whole thing kind of like flourished and how this genre really flourished. And even then, Supermassive Games, they've made quite a bit of games in that same style. Uh, they've made a lot. There's the they made okay wait starting off from where it is. They made Until Dawn, and then the next game that really used that really used that gameplay style were the Dark Pictures anthology games. For starting off, Man of Medan, Little Hope, House of Ashes, and then they made The Quarry, Devil in Me, Switchback VR. Is this another one? The Casting of Frank Stone, I guess. People like this one. Kind of. Apparently it's okay. Directive 8020 or 8020. I think we're gonna talk about this in a bit in a future episode. And they're apparently making Little Nightmares 3, which cool. I didn't know they were making Little Nightmares 3, which it's a departure from the last studio, right? Tarsier. Don't know what happened to them. What? How? Why are they not making a? Wait. There we go. Enhanced group. They were not. Continue. Okay. So they're required by Embracer Group, which is, god damn it, Embracer Group. Embracer Group is like too. That is too big. It's too big not to fail. And then they're not gonna make any more Little Nightmares games, even though this one came out in 2021. But oh yeah, wait. Oh yeah. But then Supermassive is making Little Nightmares 3, which is interesting. I think they can definitely do some cool things with that. But yeah, they're but yeah, Supermassive has made a lot of these games. So if I quit a bit of track record and have had a lot of success, and I think some of them are liked, some of them are not, but whatever. But Until Dawn was their first big one, and it definitely spawned as a revival in that kind of in the interactive movie genre of games. Again, not my favorite, but yeah, it's there. It has its fans. So theoretically speaking, making a movie out of it isn't the hardest thing to do. It's just, what do you adapt into that movie? And well, we are getting an Until Dawn movie. However, it's nothing like Until Dawn. So that brings it to our first point. This isn't Until Dawn. So, for those of you who don't know about Until Dawn at any point, at anything really, if you don't know anything about Until Dawn, Until Dawn is it's about it's about like a group of either young adults or teenagers. I forgot which one it is. That go to this cabin in the woods. Uh, and they go there, and there's a bunch of things that want to kill them, and one of them is like a Wendigo. And there's like a bunch of different. There's a history in there, whatever the fuck. I'm just reading off this. But yeah. But yeah, it's about like it's mostly about Wendigos and all that, and yeah, and like something happened in the 50s about a cave in, and that's what's happening in the area, and it's people trying to survive, pretty much. That's what it's about, and you get to decide the fate of those characters with your actions. Now, uh that sounds all well and good. But the the thing is, the thing is that the uh the movie's not about that. It's not simple. It's not people. It is people stuck in a cabin. It's stuck in like in a house, but it's nothing like what the game set up. This movie is sort of a horror Groundhog Day movie. It's a horror Groundhog Day. It's not, but it's not in the same way as like uh Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day is a much more of a comedy movie than an actual horror movie. It's more Happy Death Day isn't a horror movie by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it's just a Happy Death Day is just uh is this your black comedy slasher? It's a slasher, sure. It's not horror. It's not horror. Slasher is a subgenre of horror, but this is not horror at all. It's mostly a mystery movie. That's what it is, really. It's a mystery movie. Uh, but yeah. Do people like Happy Death Day to you? It's the same rating. It's kind of the same movie, honestly. Okay. But yeah, it's not like it's it's also not like happy, but it is an actual horror movie using that concept, which cool. I think the concept for the Until Dawn movie is an interesting concept in a vacuum as a horror movie. I think it's interesting because the concept here is again it's like Happy Death Day, but it's actual horror. It's people stuck in a house, reliving the same day until they survive, until they know how to survive, and they're going through different horror experiences. That's all well and good. That's I think interesting. You can definitely do a lot with that with the characters and building the characters up. Of course, it's a horror movie. You're not going to get that, but regardless, you it's something. It's something. If it was like if it was an actual smart horror movie, that's how it go. But it's not. It's not written smartly. It's just it would be kind of horror schlock, which we usually get this this time around. But the fact is that a Groundhog Day style horror movie using and every time they die they have to go to a different horror scenario is not Until Dawn. It's a cool concept, sure, but that's not what the game is about. Not really. And of course, it's not like it's not like they use anything from the game. It's not like they don't use anything from the games. There's no characters from the games. There's nothing. There's really nothing like symbols, like any symbols from the game. There's no Wendigos from what I can see, or at least it's not a big part of the game. There's nothing from the game. It's just a horror movie. It's just a horror movie using the name of Until Dawn because it wants to. I think that the Groundhog Day style, the Groundhog Day style of the movie, it would have been an interesting way of adapting the game. I think if they went that direction and adapted the game, but went in the direction of making a Groundhog Day scenario, I think it could be really cool and exploring the different scenarios in the game that people even normally wouldn't see, or maybe scenarios that people would see and and things from a different character's perspective. That could be really cool. Maybe at the end they know what they to do to survive, but there's still different obstacles in there. That could be really cool, and they're the player characters. They're deciding their own fate, doing all this. That could have been a really interesting horror take on Until Dawn, and even then, like adapting the game story, but also doing something new with it. But that's too smart for people, I guess. That's too much for people. That's too much for these writers making these sort of movies. So yeah, it's not like the movie looks terrible. It's just that the movie looks like any other horror movie you can get. It has that sort of same mystery of people going missing here, but it's again that's like the only thing it really shares aside from the name. There's nothing here that really says that this is Until Dawn, and that's something I think we need to stop with video game adaptations, and something that I thought we left behind already, where it just uses the name. That's all it uses. It doesn't use anything else. I thought we left that behind a long time ago, but that seems to be not the case anymore, which is really sad. It really is. I think we deserve, especially today in today's age, we have shows like Arcane, we have the Sonic movies, we have the Marvel. The Marvel movies are a pretty high standard. I'm not gonna push it there. We have again Sonic movies. The Arcane show, The Last of Us. What else was like a really good video game? Fallout show, which won Best Adaptation last year. I think that's really about the ones that are really good. But like, there's apparently Twisted Metal was a really good adaptation. I wouldn't know, but people like. People liked it. People there are video game adaptations that people like, and are faithful to the source material, especially Sonic. But here, that's really not the case, and I thought we left this behind. Can it be a good movie? Sure. Not expecting it out of the horror genre. Not something this time of year, especially in April, where that's not really horror movie peak. But it could be good. It could be a good movie where the characters have interesting interactions. Maybe all that happens. I'm not gonna talk about them all that much. They're not the main part of it. At least not here, not now. They don't look all that interesting. But that's just the plot of the movie, and it's not Until Dawn. Sadly, it's not Until Dawn. I can say that with 100% certainty. It's not Until Dawn. It is probably going to be, at most, a serviceable horror movie. Will it be good? Maybe. Not holding my breath on that. Maybe. It'll probably, at most, be serviceable. At worst, be really bad. But it will pretty much always have that this presence over it where it's not a good adaptation of the source material. It's an interesting take, not a good one. Not a good or faithful one. Not adapting anything from the games. It just shares the name and the beginning sections. That's it. That's all that the game that it shares with the game, and that's really sad that we can't have that. When especially with what Until Dawn is, where Until Dawn is a game, it's an interactive movie pretty much. But yeah, I mean, everything else about the movie looks fine. It's just that it's just normal horror movie. It just doesn't. If you remove the name of if you remove the Until Dawn name out of it, it just would be like a normal horror movie with at least an interesting concept. But yeah, again, everything here looks fine. I guess it's there's these interesting set pieces here and there, but the characters look fine, serviceable at least. But that's again not Until Dawn. That's what this movie. That's what all video game adaptations should be. Should strive to be first a good adaptation of the source material. The same way that books and other and stuff and books and comic books, same sort of literature, same. It's literature both ways, but yeah, all of that should strive to be good adaptations of that. And if you don't want to do a direct adaptation, at least use the elements from the source material to make your own good original story with those characters and stuff. That's simple, but that's not what we get here at all. If it was a continuation of the game's events, that could be cool with new characters. I wouldn't mind. If it was called Until Dawn, and that's what the movie is about. But it's not. It's just something completely unrelated. So I don't have much. I don't have much hopes for this movie. I'm obviously gonna watch it as soon as I can. Probably won't review it for a good while, but hopefully it comes out well. But I'm not too optimistic about the horror genre as a whole. But yeah, I don't have much to say about anything else aside from the movie. It's me fucking rambling about this not Until Dawn and how the concept is really interesting. But yeah, it's yeah, no, it's just it looks fine. It looks fine, but horror movies today aren't good. I'm repeating myself, the same shit that I'm repeating myself a lot. But yeah, that's just it about the movie. I'm done. All right. But before I go in circles about the whole thing, that's it. That's all I gotta say. It looks fine. It's just not a good adaptation of the games as a whole, and I'm not very optimistic about how the movie will turn out if they don't even try to even get anything from the games. Cool take. Again, cool take, not a good one. Not the best way they could have gone with this adaptation, and I'm very lightly calling it an adaptation. So yeah, what did you guys think about the Until Dawn trailers? Leave in the comments below. All of our socials are in the description, and if you like this episode, follow us on Spotify. Rate the podcast on there too if you feel so inclined. on YouTube. Subscribe if you liked it. Like it well, subscribe if you want to see more of the content. Like if you like the video if you like the video. Share around if you think it's worth sharing. And yeah, no, that's about it. See ya.